My dad loves me and is very proud of me, and he tells me all the time. But I don't think I've ever received like a lengthy letter. So I was just saying, like, I would also be emotional, I guess.
This podcast is a lot of things,
would.
but it is not about emotional problems with our dads.
Backdoors and Blindside starts now.
We are Backdoors and Blindsides, and it's a little chilly in the studio, it looks like. Studio being our living room, of course.
It is?
Yeah,
you're talking about my beanie.
It's fashionable.
All right, for all you beanie haters out there, you don't have to wear it based on the weather, but for me, it was so cool today when I was driving a meeting. It is the end of April right now. May is literally tomorrow. And somehow I'm still driving with my seat warmers on and my steering wheel.
Oh, bragging about the steering wheel warmer, huh?
Yeah. My fingies get cold.
What constitutes having to use the hardware?
It's fucking cold.
Yeah.
I sit in my car, and if my fingers are numb while I'm driving, the warmers have to go on. It was like so cold today.
Yeah, it is. We are recording
this
at the very end of April. I guess summer like officially begins in a couple weeks here, but you know where it's hot as shit is the islands of Fiji.
You don't know where else is hot?
What's that?
As well, Eliza Orland's Instagram.
Did we talk
threads
about that at all, or did we leave that off the air? I think we left that off the air.
I think we talked about it in our very first episode of the season when we were kind of laying the land of some of the players and things like that. If you don't know, Stephanie, no good.
Problematic.
Problematic. She was dragging Eliza Orland's former.
Plug her Instagram and they can go and
yeah.
See
I'm not gonna get
gonna
all into it. You can go back to our first episode, I think, where we talk about it a little bit, or go to Eliza Orland's Instagram. It is one of her pinned posts. That's crazy. She exposes Stephanie for being
problematic.
And
we're gonna stick with that.
Some of the ists and isms. You just go watch it. Anyways, Eliza Orland, she played 2 seasons. She was on Fans vs. Favorites, was her last one. She was celebrating our vote out of tonight, and she just had her. I have the post up here. She basically she reposted her video that she posted at the beginning of this season of Survivor, where she's like, this is why I can't be on Survivor anymore, because they defend these types of people, blah, blah, blah. And then right above it, this was on her stories, right above it, she has just the absolute worst screenshot of Stephanie imaginable.
She just put her big ugly face. Yeah?
Yeah.
Look, as someone who's had his big ugly face put all over the internet before, I understand how deep that cuts.
It's not a flattering photo, and at least
it was a wacky bit. It wasn't this internet war that's going on.
And that was on her story. So goes away in 24 hours unless she pins it to one of her collections. But then on Threads, she posted in the Survivor thread, and it was just that screenshot of Stephanie's face.
Well, I'm glad she's not holding a grudge still.
I was like, let's fucking go.
Also,
we are so back, baby.
I rib, but that video is like a little evil.
Oh, so no, it's like,
pretty tough. It's been tough to watch Stephanie.
To enjoy watching Stephanie?
Yeah, enjoy
100%.
watching Stephanie, because I think she did a lot of cool shit this season, but from a game perspective, but
I mean, she did a lot of cool shit in her first season. She was the last person on her tribe. It's been hard to root for her
with what kind of came to light.
Yeah, I was excited to root for her. I didn't know anything about the issues, and then until I saw it, I was like, ooh, okay, we cannot be rooting for her any longer.
Now, want to make sure everyone knows that weather is not the biggest story. Internet feuds and hateful rhetoric on Instagram is not the biggest story.
We're just getting warmed up, baby. Got the beanie on.
The biggest story of episode 10, A Side Dish of Chaos, of Survivor 50 is that Survivor is back and the best that maybe it's ever been as of right now.
I don't remember an episode being as good as this one in I don't even know when. Such a long time.
Kyle and Camilla pulling off the first sneaky blind side.
Probably that.
Okay.
But I can't believe that those words came out of my mouth in addition to this being the episode with Mr. Beast on it.
Dude, there's so much to talk about, and Mr. Beast is he is a big part of this episode, but in the best way. And I guess, we have to go chronologically, so I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but just to get it all out there to start, we loved this week's episode.
Absolutely.
And
big fan.
It's great to do the show when you love what you are supposed to talk about. And that's why it's going to be sick to get right into this. So let's get right into this. Fallout from Christian leaving the island. Who starts? I guess Ozzy is a good place to start. Ozzy's pissed that Emily voted for him. First time that she's actually written his name down. It's been bounced around a couple of times. Just right off the bat, if you're Emily, because he goes up to her, he confronts her. It's no secret that her and Devens voted for him. If you're Emily, how do you fix this moving forward?
She was just kind of out there talking about it a lot, especially to Sari. And I think if Ozzy is looking at Emily and Sari next to each other, he's probably going to believe Sari any day over Emily. So if you're Emily, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, there's not much lying you can do. My initial thought is to deny and deflect, and for her to be like, what? Oh my God, no, Ozzy, I didn't vote for you. But she was so out there with that plan. It was not sneaky at all. It was not something her and Devens conjured and then they were supposed to play some crazy move and then it didn't happen. No, they knew who voted who. So all you can do if you're Emily is hug it out. I'm so sorry. This is why I did it. That's how you can lie. Make up a fucking lie. Be like, someone told me something about you that you were gunning for me and I didn't know what to do. And I just blah, 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 blah. Make it not feel like it was just your idea because Ozzy's a big, bad, scary player. Right?
Yeah. And especially with it being Christian, your ally who went out, I feel like it's easy to blame him.
Sure.
You say, yeah, Christian had something cooking. He said that you were gunning for me next. And now you can't confront Christian because he's out.
Right. Exactly.
If you're going to lie, that's probably the best place to lie.
And I think listening to Ozzy talk about this incident and also just watching him move throughout this entire game, he is really showing that this old era, so to speak, is ready to play a new era game. He's like, I've learned from my past. I've learned from watching, experiencing. I'm taking all of these tools and I'm becoming a better player and maybe even a better person and kind of crushing it. And I think it's why Colby went home. I think it's why Chrissy went home. I think it's why Coach went home. I think it's even why Jenna went home first because these are the old school players that can't adapt and level up.
We talked about how and the idea of we're gonna give the game to a new era player, maybe not as realistic, not as in line with what's actually happening here, but that still lines up with what we've been talking about this season, which is Jeff wants to show the world the new era Survivor is Survivor. It's here to stay.
You can be from the old era, but it's the new era attitude that's being applied to it right now.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Not the attitude era. Ring the bell, first wrestling crossover of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So showing that adaptability, the players who have stuck around from the old era are the ones who are willing to play ball with these new heads and new players and they're willing to adapt and figure out they got to roll with the twists. And they're changing up their way of doing things. We even have Sari saying previously the old school way is you ride with your people no matter what, and you don't share anything, but I've decided I'm going to start bringing in new folks. I'm going to flip around the votes and I'm going to share some information with Rizzo. Guess what? Sari's here and Sari's on top because she's adapted to that style.
As you're saying that, I do want to make a clear distinction because sometimes people are confused with what's old era versus new era. What does that actually mean when we're talking about, at least in the context that we're talking about it? It is the difference between the old era being, okay, we're into building the shelter. Are you arguing with me over that? We're making fire. Who's going out and fishing, right? The camp life. And I'm going to vote you out because you're just fucking annoying me on this beach, right? And the, okay, we're going to stick together and like, you're my alliance and that's how it is. We're going to maybe play with a little more honesty and integrity, right? New era is these voting blocks where, okay, you may benefit me for this block, but you're going to be my enemy for the next one. But maybe the one after that, we're friends again, and now we're frenemies, and we're voting together and trying to make something happen. Common interest, right? It's the sneakiness. It's the really going behind someone's back. It's the, capitalizing off of these twists and things like that. So that's what we mean by that. And then just kind of in the grand scheme of things, the new era, like on paper, is Survivor 40 to Survivor 50. And then the old era is kind of everything before that.
And this is we've talked about how this is kind of the send off for that old era where it's
Absolutely.
like, kiss it goodbye. This will be the last you see or hear of this in like the context of new seasons and gameplay, because Probst wants to make sure everyone it's his show. It's his vision, whether you like it or not. Mm-mm. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it's received well. Sometimes it's received not so well. He doesn't care. This is the game that he has designed, where he's gotten it to, and it's going to stay that way. And we see that it's continuing to play out here, albeit it's working out a little. It's got a nicer tone than I thought it would when I kind of gave that thesis, whatever it was, episode 4 or 5. So,
yeah. And as we're moving on from Ozzy and Emily, kind of trying to hug it out a little bit, her experiencing the first time in her Survivor history being on the wrong side of the vote. Pretty impressive, especially for the fact that she's been to every tribal this season. That's crazy just for one season.
Yes, because now it's just Emily who has made it to every tribal.
Yes.
Now that Christian's gone.
Yeah. So she and like Ozzy kind of with a little asterisk over there. So she's dealing with some crushing loneliness. She's upset. She burned her kind of day one over at her original camp. And then we pivot to Devens. Just this man on the beach, he just looks like he's kind of having a good time.
He's the best.
He just he just wants to be out there having fun. He wants to be mischievous. He wants to kind of lie. He wants to tell the truth, apparently, in tonight's tribal when it makes sense for him. But he's quoted saying, it's either a good decision or a fun, bad decision.
What a great way to approach.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. Spoken like a guy who's been on TV a couple of times and is just relishing in this, getting to come back. He's considering coming clean with the whole tribe over his fake idol. He doesn't want to continue the charade, or getting more chaotic and elaborating on this fake idol bullshit that he's come up with what he can use the idol for. Who knows about it? Did it come with an advantage? Whatever. And well,
we're seeing him and Emily get a little close too.
Yes,
a lot closer than I thought they would, and that might be kind of this legacy from Christian, because I think he was way tighter with Christian, and he was close with Emily, so now I think he's like kind of pulling her in a little closer now that Christian's gone, and they just they're scheming together. They are looking like they want to conjure up some fuck shit together. They're talking about just basically saying that their mistake, the entire tribe's mistake, was letting Devens know that he's on the bottom. You don't want Devens on the bottom. I mean, you might, but if you're, in opposition to him, but you don't want him to know that.
Right, because he's gonna fuck with you.
He's gonna fuck
you're right,
with you.
You're right, and I guess that's where the good decision versus fun bad decision comes into play. Is like, if he knows that there's heat on him, I mean, we've seen he's willing to take risks. He's really willing to like, I think, risk it all in a way that we don't see a lot of players do. And so he could really be fucking with your stuff.
Balls to the walls,
physically,
I think the kids are calling
it. Metaphorically, balls to the walls. Yes,
Yeah.
great way to describe him. We got the sense at the start of this episode that maybe Tribal was going to be where the next chapter in the saga of the hidden fake idol. But actually, pretty much right after he talks about this in the confessional, we see him at camp in front of everyone. He calls it the pocket square idol or something like that.
He gathers them round.
And
he says, "Come one, come all. I have something to share."
He grabs it by a corner and just the rock rolls out of it. He says, "This was bullshit. This was fake." And
people were still not understanding it was bullshit when he pulled it out either.
Yeah,
they were like,
because he's still doing a bit. Like he's still doing a bit, and then he had to explain it even more. And now the tribe is split again. Some people are like, "Good for you, man. Hell yeah, that's funny. That's awesome." Because you could argue that it saved him and Aubrey that episode, that tribal, when Coach and Chrissy went home.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have people who are furious that he played them, and they don't like his goofy shenanigans and the deception and the lying.
You mean Joe?
Yeah, I guess Joe loves watching C-SPAN, and he probably listens to NPR. And
nothing wrong with those things.
I would imagine
dry.
Like the easy listening channel. Yes, dry, boring information. You know what I mean? Like what don't you like about that? I get like you're playing together.
He probably watches This Is Us.
Oh, you're so right.
Yeah.
I feel like he could be on one of those shows.
He probably could.
By the way, we get better Joe. Now that Coach is gone, we are getting
so much better Joe.
I want to make that clear.
Love this version of Joe.
We don't hate Joe. We just hate righteous Joe. When he's doing this whole, weird
holier than thou.
Yeah. So he immediately tells us that Devens is now public enemy number one. And who does he go to about this? He goes to Ozzy. And Ozzy agrees. And I think Ozzy agrees less about, being angry about the shenanigans, more, this guy wrote my name down last night.
Yeah.
So he wants Devens gone, and he's also throwing Emily's name out there, he being Ozzy.
I want to point out two things that Devens says while he's regaling to the tribe his genius master plan, exposing it for all to see, the pocket square idol, he called it. He says, he's like, yeah, I just, wrapped it up in this piece of, what is it, like burlap or like cloth or whatever that, I found from Aubrey's idol that I gifted her. And I'm like, if everyone doesn't already know, Aubrey has an idol, everyone.
Yeah, well, she
had one.
She had one.
Yeah.
I think that's him publicly announcing that he gave it to her.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we ever declared that when the merge happened.
Which, don't forget, he did not. That, for the record, that was Christian. Like,
yes.
He talks about it so much and just so, like, straightforward that I sometimes forget that it was Christian who actually found it.
Well, when at the start of the season, we said that Christian really, masterminded this whole thing, but Devens is the one who took it and ran with it.
Absolutely.
Which, you have to, now that your buddy's gone, I would have loved to see them work through that together, but that's how it goes sometimes.
The second thing he says is, I'm at the bottom with no idol. Would be ashamed to waste a vote on me.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, he's kind of right.
Yeah.
He's kind of right. If you're looking at Devens, yes, he is an agent of chaos. But yeah, he's also kind of on an island now. He kind of has Aubrey. She might flip on him at any point that doesn't suit, her. Emily is flopping all over the place. So who knows how tight he can truly keep her. I mean, Christian was a huge blow to, his stability in the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, he probably is on the bottom. And I do agree with that a little bit to a certain extent, but I mean, he's Mr. Idol, man. He's going to find an idol and get himself an idol one way or another. And we see that at the end of the episode, but.
So you're saying he is still a threat?
Yes, they're all a threat. They're all a threat because they're all former players. They know how to play. They're all good.
Yeah.
Yes, in their own unique way. They have their own angles. They have their own connections. So yeah, everyone's a threat. It's just who it would so depend on like your physical spot in the tribe and who you are and who you've been aligned with. Like it's truly hard to say. So I have a little alternative fantasy survivor scenario for you here. Okay. Instead of Devens regaling to the tribe saying that I have this fake idol, look at me, I'm telling the truth now. Why don't we lean into the lie a little more? Actually, a lot more. And let's suspend for a moment too that Emily is capable of keeping her trap shut and not flip-flopping on people and spilling the beans, right?
So this would rely on honest Emily.
She needs to be lockstep.
Yeah. Trustworthy Emily.
Trustworthy. I need the same energy as Devens had with Christian with planting the fake idol, right? That was genius.
Right.
Like who would have thought, right?
And you're choosing Emily because at this point, Emily's the only person that knows
the
truth.
That knows the truth and that he finds is, closest to him, a little more trustworthy, right? So we're pretending Emily's lockstep with Devens and that Devens did not just tell the tribe that what went down was all 100% fake and made up by him, right? So we are going to position ourselves right when Devens finds the idol at Tribal. He just found it. Everyone thinks it's real. He goes back. He's still going to say it's real. It's going to be real. There's nothing in the little package that he had, right? It's just Aubrey's package wrapped up. And this is what he's going to do. I'm calling this the decoy beware idol advantage. So basically, Devens pulls Emily in on this fake plan. Fake plan is that Emily was walking on her trail. She is, looking for an idol and she finds a little piece of package. She opens it up and it is the decoy beware idol advantage. Throw whatever celebrity on top of that you'd like to make it feel more real.
Sure.
And her advantage that she finds is she has the ability to sabotage a fellow castaway. Again, this is something that Devens and Emily are making up. They are running with this lie.
If you are Rick Devens, this is the lie that you would make.
Yes, this is the lie that I would just spiral into because the first lie was so good and people are believing it. Let's keep going. So Emily finds this fake decoy beware idol advantage and she decides to sabotage Rick Devens. What does this sabotage entail? It entails that a fake idol will be hidden at the Tribal Council fire pit, and Emily is allowed to gift a fake clue to someone. She chooses Rick Devens because she doesn't trust him, or that's what they say, right? And so this would allow Devens to play a victim. He was caught up in another crazy survivor twist. So what would happen is that Devens was following an actual task, right? Mm-hmm. That he got on a clue to take it out from the Tribal Council fire. And then on the back end would be is if Emily, if the clue is played, if the idol is played, then Emily has to announce that it's a fake idol. And that's the beware part. Gotcha. So if Devens in a future tribal goes to play the idol and Jeff says, this is not an idol, right? And obviously, too, there was nothing in that package, so they'd need to go back and, put some beads on some string and make a little fake idol. But that doesn't matter because no one's seen it, right?
Right.
So this would ensure kind of Devin to further parlay his idol play into another tribal council. He would then play it, and Jeff would be like, obviously, this is fake. Devens would know it's fake. Emily would know it's fake. Emily stands up. At this moment, she has a little theatrics. Yeah. She says, I was the gifter of the idol and I'm announcing that because that was my beware sabotage part of it, right? Why? Why do it this way? Well, it would then mean Devens just a victim. He's free. He didn't do this. Oh no, he fell victim to the sabotage advantage that Emily played on him. And now he's mad at Emily. He doesn't like her. Emily has egg on her face. Her sabotage didn't work. There's a rift between Emily and Devens.
What does Emily have to gain from this, though?
Because it's the umbrella of safety that her and Devens don't like each other now.
Okay.
But really, they're lockstep. They created this lie together. They invented this fake riff. You know, everyone thinks that Emily screwed Devens over with this idol that Devens thought he was actually getting. I think it's a little convoluted, but that the first idea was real convoluted. Gifting Aubrey the idol from Christian. No, we're actually going to say it's Devens. That was convoluted. Adding more confusion to this season of Survivor that has all the twists and turns or whatever, I think could be pretty interesting. And people, I think, would have continued to buy it because why not?
You know where I think something like that would have actually happened? If what I said last episode came true, if Rick Devens told Rizzo about it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think Rizzo would have an idea like that.
Yeah.
I think Rizzo would want to keep it going. He would push Rick to, and honestly, probably eventually use that against Rick because
Sure.
he is cunning like that. And I wish that we got that at some point before Rick came clean, because I do see the two of them working out something wacky like that.
Well,
so
yeah,
I
because
really like that
was
idea.
Rizzo's whole bit, being
Yes.
wacky on his season with his idol.
I'm sure,
So,
like he watched all of this go down, and he's like, "Fuck, this looks like so much fun."
oh, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Why does Rick Devens get to have fun?
Well, it's right up his alley.
Yeah.
And so, I think that they would have been a great pair to watch pull something like that off. But we still got 3 episodes of TV left. So let's get into one of your favorite Survivor segments, recurring segments, but not all of the time.
I love the Survivor auction. You don't get it every season. There's some seasons, there's a drought. You don't get it.
Yeah, so the auction is not every season. There was not one on Survivor 49. I can't remember if there was one on 48 or not, but you have to assume, just like everything else this season, the Survivor 50 auction is going to be bigger, better, crazier, wackier, whatever it is. We do get a super cut of auction moments. We see someone it looks like licking icing off of someone else's hand, doing weird, wacky, kind of gross shit, because a lot of it involves food and a lot of people are willing to do whatever it takes to get literally just calories to fuel their game and just to taste something that isn't coconut and fucking sand. And
there's some comfort and letters from home on the line sometimes and things like that. Like maybe a trip to Sanctuary or a shower, something, very basic things. But these people are willing to spend hundreds of dollars on them.
And so everyone is given an envelope with $500 cash, and you bid in $20 increments for each of these items. There will be shared items that will come up in this auction. And every item, Jeff says, is either comfort, chaos, or both. Basically good, bad, or a mixture of each.
And we can share money, which is something that isn't always allowed. So we make sure that they know you can share your money with someone, meaning that if you only have $80 left and you're trying to help someone, you can give that to someone else. The money that you don't spend, you get to keep, which I don't know how much, $200.
$200 is $200.
Cash
dude.
USD on a Fiji island in Survivor is going to do you. But hey, maybe once you're on that plane home, hit that duty-free store.
I think Jeff will take it and put it in your Survivor checking account
Yes.
if you don't spend any all of the money.
Yeah, I think so. He'll open one up for you too, I heard. Yeah. And then the food sharing is allowed, but it's only if it is deemed a splittable item from the get-go. So it's not like you can, get a burger and then decide to give it to someone. So if you buy it, you get it.
Sorry, I was just thinking about having a Survivor debit card and going to the ATM and the pin for all of the Survivor debit cards is just Jeff. Everyone has the same pin and it's just Jeff. Sorry, that tickled me.
But Jonathan's is Mr. Jeff.
Jonathan's the only one that has a 6-digit pin. So yes, exactly. Aubrey asks Jeff how many items there are, and he just kind of laughs in her face, which is funny. He goes, "Come on, what do you think this is? I'm not."
You said idols, right? Not items.
Idols? Did I say idols? Items.
No, she said idols.
She said idols. Oh,
Yes.
she was asking about idols specifically.
Yes.
I thought she said
Oh,
items.
maybe she. Oh, shoot. Now I'm questioning. Maybe now
Either
it's
way,
items.
Jeff's not going to tell them that, right? Because
He's not telling you how many items. He's not telling you how many idols.
Because like part of it is do you hold out or do you bid while there's something in front of you? I mean, I guess that is like the way that shit works. Have you ever been to an actual auction? I know we do like online shit for furniture and home fixtures and stuff like that sometimes, but
yeah, what a weird moment back into my childhood. So my
livestock.
No,
pigs.
No, I've never been to a livestock auction.
Yeah.
My family has been.
Okay, yeah.
Thank
you for explaining that. People are gonna be like, why would he bring that up? No, like that's like a real thing that our family does. They have cows.
Yeah, they have cows.
Yeah.
But not a farm. Difference, just land use cows.
Sure.
No, I've not been to a livestock auction. Way too sad. Fuck that. But I've been to in person, like random bullshit auctions, like at an auction house. My grandmother used to kind of work at one with some of her cousins and sister's family, and I'd come out and help with them. I'd make some extra cash as like a 12-year-old, and we would work the like the food like concessions line basically.
Okay.
I had a guy get mad at me, like real fucking mad at me one time. I'm like 10 or 12 or some bullshit, right? I'm a kid, and he wanted a mug root beer, and
like the brand mug.
Yeah, and we only had A&W.
That's the superior root beer.
He was pissed.
Mug sucks.
He was yelling at a child because I didn't have the soda he wanted in the pre-stocked fridge behind me.
Mug is garbage. I can't believe being upset about that one specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the Barks, A&W, mug, I think is the order for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're just getting screamed at because they didn't have the bulldog drink.
Yeah, basically.
I have been in like, I play in like golf tournaments that have had like auctions at the end where it's like they're auctioning off.
Oh yeah, like an event.
Yeah, like an event or whatever.
I've been to those too.
When I did Cub Scouts, we would do a cake auction because in the Cub Scouts you're like it's like a father-son bake-off or whatever. This is so Cub Scouts are so fucking stupid. Boy Scouts are so fucking stupid. No disrespect if you're listening.
It's Scouts of America now.
It's dumb as shit. And we were in Cub Scouts. You would have to do. It was a father-son baking event, and they were so adamant.
That sounds like the worst.
Dude, they were so adamant that the women are not allowed anywhere near the baking for this. Like that was like they hammered that rule, and it's like your mom isn't allowed to help you. And like in the moment I'm like, oh yeah, because like my mom's good at baking, so like that would be an event. And now I'm like, I can't believe we're just yelling that at kids. Like she's like, no girls allowed, you have to bake the cake with your dad. Anyway, so
well, it's because the women are always in the kitchen.
We did
You're not allowed in this kitchen
every year with our grandfather, because he is a tremendous he's a tremendous baker.
Yes.
And it was when my dad was overseas, so he would come. We were living close to them at the time, and we always made the most elaborate fucking cakes. We made a train.
No grandparents in the kitchen.
There was no rule about that. We made a train one year. We made a lighthouse one year. We made the fucking
in cake.
Yeah. We made the Starship Enterprise.
Wait, I know he's like he like constructs gingerbread.
He's a naval engineer. So he takes the naval engineer approach to cake structures. I mean, this is before like any of these TV shows existed either. We were doing this in our kitchen. Anyways, you go to this event, it was all like the cakes that like, and then there would always be whispers, oh, that person's mom helped them or whatever, and dumbest shit in the world. But they would auction off all the cakes at the end, and ours was always the highest bid item. People were going crazy for it, and we would bid it on ourselves most of the time because everything else was dog shit.
That's why you were Matty Patty cakes.
Kicked ass. So that is my fondest memory of auction related shit. However, this one's pretty damn good. And we get a little bit of a back and forth. Jeff's like, I'm not telling you any. I'm not giving you any hints, right? And right off the bat, there are 12 items in total. Sorry, 13 items in total before we get to the big one at the end.
Yeah, 14 including the big one.
So
Which
quick,
is a lot, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I was surprised that it went on for so long. I think that was like a, hey, sorry we fucked you guys over so much with these twists. Make sure everyone gets a chance to eat.
Yeah.
So I'm going to rattle through these really quick. Item number 1 is fries, onion rings with ketchup and ranch. That goes to Rick Devens for $160. Pretty good. Fried food, I think, has to be the best thing that you can get. Like as far as like what you're
protein,
but like what you're craving, I think is like I think that's going to be the most
especially
like,
a
appreciated.
sauce. I love
dude.
a sauce in any situation. I will pick menu items off the menu depending on what sauce it comes with.
Item 2 is a chocolate milkshake. It goes to Emily for $100. She talks about how she's going to be shitting her pants as soon as she drinks it.
She's the full quote was she was going to quote poop her brains out later.
Shout out. Item number 3 is a snack tray containing crackers, veggies, and an assortment of dips. I saw maybe some hummus, maybe some tzatziki, maybe a little French onion action. That goes to Jonathan for $80. People really didn't care about that one, which is funny because it's like I feel like it's always the most untouched thing at a party as well.
It's also the most untouched thing in a Survivor auction.
Steal to get it for $80.
I think that was the cheapest one.
$20. Sari bought item number 7 for $20. We'll get there.
Sorry.
So
cheapest food one, I'd say.
Item 4 is our first shared item, and that goes to Aubrey for $280. So over half of her auction budget. She chooses to share with Rizzo. And there are 2 items. One is comfort, one is chaos. The comfort item is shared if one person completes the chaos item in less than 2 minutes. And the comfort item is chocolate chip cookies with milk. Now the chaos item is 2 live grubs that are roughly the size of soda cans from the look of it inside that box, and they're fucking writhing around.
I'll just say the way she handled that, she horked those motherfuckers down. Aubrey is a badass.
This is
bitch.
the second time in, I think, 2 episodes that Aubrey said, I'm a psycho, and then just does something crazy.
Yeah.
And she goes right in. She's doing a little dance while eating them whole. She's fucking shaking her mouth in front of everyone.
Running around to the other tribe mates, showing them the grubs.
Grubs, insanely nutrient dense. I know that from my dad told me that he had to eat grubs, when he was like in training or like in the fucking jungle or whatever.
What?
And so they I don't know, he was in the Marines, so he's eating bugs and all that. And apparently grubs are like super nutrient dense if you're trying to survive.
Yeah, I had that thought. I'm like, yeah, this will probably be good for her like interior body.
Oh yeah.
But like not fun on the palate and in the mouth and in the teethers and the tongue and the tonsils and the throat part. Like that all sounds
pinchers and the little legs and all that.
I don't do gross things. Like we were watching a little bit of the new season of like Fear Factor. I could do any of them. I could be claustrophobic. I could have cement poured on me until I freeze.
Like the snake tanks.
I could do that. Now
tarantulas.
I could do that. I mean, I don't in my day to day, I will not be doing that shit. But I've talked about this before. I have a certain level of disassociation that I can just turn on in an instant. And when I need to get shit done, I get shit done.
But the eating ones,
absolutely fucking not. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I haven't had to eat grubs, but like I've eaten enough gross shit just for like a wacky bit in front of my friends.
I don't want like
that'd be the easiest part for me, I think.
Like the seasoned cricket tacos or like.
Oh, I've had those.
No, yeah, I don't want that. No bugs. I don't want it.
I'm a pretty adventurous eater. I'll try anything.
No, so am I.
Give it a shot.
But I'm not eating a fucking grub, and I'm not eating a sea slug or sea cucumber or whatever the fuck.
The grubs looked clean, at least. They weren't covered in dirt. It looked like they hosed them off before they put them in the bowl. So her and Rizzo get to enjoy their chocolate chip cookies together. Item number 5 is a blanket. Goes to Sari for $180. Item number 6 is a secret item. Steph bids on it for $260, also half of her budget. It's grilled cheese and milk. Shout out.
It's massive. We just ate that for dinner too.
Yeah.
And I was watching her eat it and I was like, I could eat another one right now.
Yeah, it's
It
a
looks
good
so
looking.
good.
That's the thing. All the food looks really good. And then item 8 is another shared item, and that is a surprise item. So Jonathan bids $320, and Jeff announces it's the Fall on the Sword item. It is a blind choice. There are 2 covered plates. Ozzy chooses first. Well, I guess they each choose one, right? Ozzy's is revealed. He gets fried chicken and mashed potatoes. Pretty fucking good. Again, I think like maybe that might be the 1 seed for everything that they win in this auction. That is, I think, the most calories. There's fat, there's carbs, there's protein. Like that's
you
everything.
get the drink to wash everything
That,
down.
I think that is the best item available. And then Jonathan gets a boiled sea slug, which just looks like human shit.
The fact that like you just can't like bite and chew, and it's like a rip and pull,
Yeah, that's tough.
and then choke it down.
Yeah.
And while he's doing this, they're all chanting total package, total package, total pack, which is hilarious in the moment, right? He's big, strong. We know that just by looking at him, right? If I was Jonathan, I'd be a little afraid of that chant, because if it were me on the other side sitting there, I would use that as MO to get him out.
Biggest target.
I'd be like, hey guys, remember when everyone was chanting total package when he was eating the sea slug? Yeah, I don't want to sit next to that at the final 3. We need to get him out.
He pulls on this sea slug like it is a Kirkland brand protein bar. I mean, Jesus
those aren't
Christ.
very good.
No, you really got to pull. You got
Costco does a lot of good things, but their
dig in on
protein
those.
bar brand sucks.
So, and it looks like it's hard to swallow. I love when people throw up. Like I've said this before, throwing up's like I think the 3rd funniest thing in the world that can happen.
It's funny because I
And-
hate when you throw up. This
Well,
man,
I mean,
this
it's like-
man over here, he scream vomits.
I don't something with my esophagus. I don't, or maybe it's just health.
It's
I don't know.
like, you know, sometimes when you throw up and it's just like the sound of the excretion hitting the toilet water.
Yes.
You know, that's all you get? No. He's like, "Ugh!" It sounds like an exorcism.
It's tough. I try to hide it.
You haven't done it in
I
a
try to
while.
hide it, but I can't.
But the weekend you're about to have, you might be scream vomiting.
No, we don't puke in Philly.
Okay.
We're pros. We're pros, baby. Yeah, so Jonathan throws up. Hilarious. Wish we got more throwing up. Always going to go for a vomit gag.
I mean, he calls it eating a rubber band, which just sounds horrible.
Yeah.
And don't forget though, he was the one who bought the item.
Yes.
Like, I would be like, Ozzy, do me a solid. Or like Ozzy should take it upon himself to be like, here, man, here's some extra cash. You go get, you know, whatever, some spaghetti or whatever they're serving up.
Right, because Ozzy doesn't buy a lot during this auction. And I have more on that at the end. Item 9 is a charcuterie board, a dense charcuterie board, looking like a Meg charcuterie board. And Suri buys for $280. Item number 10.
Which I do want to pause on Suri for a second. Actually, never mind. I forgot she got something else.
It's in an order.
I'll save my comment.
There's an order. So, and by the way, charcuterie in the middle of the fucking Fijian heat. I don't know, dude.
I love me a little charcuterie board.
It's gonna be sweating.
It's gonna be sweating.
But
charcuterie, like outside or above about 70 degrees for any longer than 15 minutes is maybe gonna get a little, you know, a little crusty, a little sweaty. It's hot down there. It's
but
real
also,
humid.
people are eating bugs in the same auction, so of course they're gonna go for the sweaty
true.
cheese.
That's true. I would take some sweaty cheese out there.
Item number 10, also pretty nutritious, I'll say. 2 chicken breasts, broccoli, and a protein smoothie. That goes to Rizzo. We don't know how much he paid for it, but it does go to Rizzo.
Yeah, we skipped that part.
Maybe the best option for you, like nutrition gameplay wise.
This one
Fiber.
is probably one of the lesser appealing options on paper, not counting the punishment eating. it's not deep fried. It's not chocolatey.
It's not as indulgent.
Cheesy. It's not indulgent. It is just straight to the basics. But honestly, it's probably the best one because you most likely won't poop your brains out like Emily with her milkshake. You're getting your protein. You're getting your veggies.
Protein makes you feel full longer.
Right, exactly. And was it like a protein smoothie or like a
something
shake
like that.
or something? Like that one's probably the like sneaky best one you could get.
Yeah, and good on Rizzo for probably realizing that and going after it. Ozzy buys a cake for number 11, and Jonathan does get real food. He buys a PB&J sandwich for $60. So actually less than the snack tray. Gets a PB&J sandwich. And then this is right here where we have Suri announcing that she needs to just briefly exit the little alcove to go yak.
I think
again, vomiting, always hilarious.
I think Suri made out the best in this
Absolutely,
auction.
she did.
She got a blanket. She got to brush her teeth and swish her mouth around with mouthwash, which I also want to point out. Jeff joked that he smelled Suri before he smelled the mint
from
the mouthwash and toothpaste, which is like, woof. I think we joked earlier too in the season when Stephanie won like the immunity necklace, and it was the next challenge, and he was trying to take it from her.
Her hair was in it.
Yeah, her hair was in it, and he's like, "I'm gonna let you figure that.
I'm not touching your nasty ass hair.
Yeah, I don't want to do that."
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think Suri she got the best of every single world possible from this auction.
Hopefully, she saved enough toothpaste and mouthwash to recover from the puking. But Suri, total fucking legend in every way. She boots and rallies comes back and hammers the rest of that charcuterie. So
I would.
Shout out.
That's just me on a Friday night, baby.
The last single item is mac and cheese, goes to Aubrey for $200. And this is where she gets
another great one.
Really emotional. She says it reminds her of home, talks about her kid. And then we go to Joe. Because, I mean, how many other...
My kid, I know the exact smell when ketchup hits the floor and I have to clean it off the floor, which I didn't know that was a specific smell. Is that any different than ketchup coming out of the bottle?
Yeah,
is it just dirtier?
I think it smells like blind rage is what you're probably trying to figure out there. So yes, she is getting emotional, thinking about her family. I actually just thought of this. How many people are actually parents that are left? Stephanie, Rick Devens, Suri, Aubrey, Joe. So half, like at least half.
Yeah.
Of half parents, half not. Because like we don't get a ton of talk about that, especially since we know these people already. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting, we call to Joe.
Well,
after
we do know Christian's son will see this.
The Christian's son will see this. And well, I don't know if he'll see this because Christian's not on the show anymore. Or maybe he'll come back for the finale.
Right.
And we go to Joe, and Joe talks about his kids and his family as well. This is where I made the note. Joe's been holding out. We might have seen him bid in certain places, but Joe did not buy anything, and neither did Tiffany. And then I think Ozzy, the only thing he bought was the cake. But those two, Joe and Tiff, are the two who did not purchase anything at the auction. Like they were really holding out for something at the end.
They really could have as well. There was no advantage. And I think that's probably what they were holding out for, because sometimes he will open the thing and it's like some piece of paper that you can read at a later time.
Immunity Idol or steal,
clue to whatever. Yeah, and I think people were holding out for that because the highest bid was the 8th item by Jonathan at $320, which I think, by the way, Jonathan spent probably the most money.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. He spent basically his whole budget.
He's a big guy. He's got to fuel those muscles, man.
Well, but important to note, the $320 item was the fried chicken for Ozzy, and he got to eat the shit slug.
Right.
So the last, final, biggest, greatest, grandest item comes out. Jeff announced it's meant to be shared amongst all 10 at $20 a piece. Everyone goes, fuck yeah, we're so in. And it's revealed it's their letters from home. But he says there's an equal dose of chaos, and here comes something we've been waiting for since the very first trailer for Survivor 50. Mr. Beast enters the program. And at this point, we, on the podcast, off the podcast, in group chats, talking to friends. We have been rolling our eyes and doing the jerk off motion about Mr. Beast being on Survivor 50 since it was announced.
Well, and especially because of the whole Zac Brown fiasco.
Since we've already gotten like
the lowest rated Survivor episode in the show's history.
And like Zac Brown is like, that guy's a rock star, and Mr. Beast is Mr. Beast. And
which, by the way,
what?
I'd like to point out for everyone here, Grandpa over there did not know who Mr. Beast was.
No, that's not fucking true. I know who Mr. Beast is. I've just never seen a video.
Oh, yeah. Give me that emotion.
He's got candy bars in 7-Eleven. I've seen that. He's got a burger place in New Jersey.
You didn't know what he originated from.
I know that kids love him, and I know that he pays people to do crazy shit. I know wherever he lives in like South Carolina, he actually kind of sneaky like runs that town like fucking Zephram Cochran in Halloween 3, and everyone like hopes that he comes into their store so that he can change their lives. That shit's weird. So he's creepy, he's super rich, and he's I don't like do the YouTuber and the streamer thing. And so this to me was like when Logan Paul came into the WWE, because that was clearly Logan Paul was huge with the kids, and they wanted to appeal to the kids, the YouTube kids who may not know about wrestling yet. And when that happened, everyone hated it because Logan Paul is annoying and overexposed. And now fucking I Show Speed is like wrestling Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. So I thought that was the same thing here. Clearly it's like, all right, Jeff is once again taking a page out of McMahon's book. He's going on these podcasts and these YouTube channels that are really popular with a younger audience, an audience that doesn't watch Survivor, because now you've got Mr. Beast on your show. So it's like, it's a big grab for the brand if you're looking at it just from like a numbers perspective. But it once again, it has nothing to do with Survivor. Like if it was Boston Rob coming around with the briefcase, or fucking, I don't know, someone else from Survivor history, Jeff's mom, I don't know.
Yeah, I would just like to circle back to the point that I made in the beginning that got you so fiery, which like you just played into my hand so beautifully. I just like took the pen off the grenade and you caught it and started, throwing and dancing with it. Grandpa over here did not know the Mr. Beast videos. He hates when I call him Grandpa, by the way.
Tell the thing.
He's mad.
Tell the thing. Do your bit.
I was like, he has like the videos. Like he like put that one guy in a grocery store and said that every day that he was in there, he would get like 10K in this guy, but like he wouldn't get additional supplies that wasn't the fully stocked grocery store. So the guy had to like ration them. The guy made like almost $500,000, I think, off of it. So I showed you that video and I was like, oh yeah, you'd know him. He's from those challenges where, he says, put your hand on this Lamborghini. Last one to take your hand off of it wins it.
Yeah. Like I had like heard of that. It's always just something someone talks about. Right. Mr. Beast does not come up in my Instagram algorithm. It's a tailored Instagram algorithm. And it's for me and for me alone. Me and my FBI agents.
Still on Schizogram?
And, I'm so in on Schizo. I opened up Instagram Reels for the first time in months. I was a little worried that all the work I had done had been undone. No. I got some guy that's in a fucking, like, in a landfill, like, retention pond, just moaning, walking around. Don't know where he is. Don't know if that's English or not. I sent it to, like, 6 people. I said, we're so fucking back.
Okay.
Love Schizogram. Shout out Schizogram, by the way.
Yeah.
Gotta be my favorite type of Instagram.
And I will take this moment, since we mentioned it and we're just talking about Mr. Beast in general, to shout out Mr. Beast, to shout out Jimmy, as the common folk call it, because he tweeted last night, which, were we still using the word tweeted?
Yeah.
Is it X posted?
He's tweeting.
He tweeted.
You don't want to X post. That's not a good idea.
No.
Kids follow him.
He tweeted, grew up watching Survivor, so getting to be a part of it tonight was a big moment to me. The show isn't about celebrity. It's about the stakes and the competition, which is why I tried to lay back and keep the focus on the competitors. I hope you all love it.
What an asshole.
I loved it.
That's so awesome. That's amazing. What a fucking asshole.
He saw the Zac Brown episode and said, get a load of this guy. I couldn't be him.
I wonder too, did they also interview Mr. Beast the way that they interviewed Zac Brown, but they learned their lesson and cut the shit out of this? Because also, I will say,
Mr. Beast is chronically online. He saw all the hate from Zac Brown. He said, I don't want any of that.
He probably called Probst and was like, yeah, you got to fix my episode, dude. I don't need that bad blood. I don't need that heat. Because I will say, the editing in this episode is weird.
It's not the same as any of the other celebrity episodes.
Or just episodes in general. Because normally, like, let's talk about the auction, actually. Normally, the episode would have, or the segment would have ended with, like, Joe looking at the camera, Rick Devens, public enemy number 1. Him and Emily are gone. Instead, we get that, and then we get a supercut of the auctions over the years. And we go, okay, the auction. No, then commercial break. Instead of coming back, and wouldn't that start your segment of the auction? Instead of having that before you go to break? No, that's what leads you back in. That's what reintroduces the show. And that happens a couple more times where, like, we see people, like, arrive to camp or, like, arrive to tribal, but then we go to commercial. That's never how this show works. So I do think it's very possible that they recut this in some way, and that's why it doesn't quite line up, because they had to do it quick.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't, not once time, get a confessional interview from Mr. Beast.
No.
Beautiful.
By
Love
design,
that.
I would think.
Love it.
Yeah. That's so awesome.
In,
he just fucking dunks on Zac
He
Brown.
parades around, he does his little thing, and he's there when it makes sense, and I loved it.
Yes, he was a fly on the wall for the most part. Although what he brought made the biggest fucking changes you can imagine. So he enters the alcove or whatever with the briefcase and announces that inside is a Mr. Beast Super Beware Advantage that will be revealed at Tribal later tonight. And Jeff announces that the letters from home will be waiting at camp because we are going straight to the immunity challenge from here.
And do we think, by the way, does Joe or, I don't know, Sari, do they know who the fuck this man is in this moment?
I think if you have kids, you do.
Yeah.
I think everyone...
Just the look on their faces, though, they seemed so confused. Like, what is happening?
Well, wouldn't you be confused if you're out there and you're like, why is the YouTube guy here?
Yes, but then why is the Zac Brown guy here either? And I just, everyone else was like, oh, shocked, happy, and they're just like, the fuck? Like, I mean, he's the little, like, what's that little meme with, like, the, like, cat-looking Muppet washed up thing, and he's going...
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm sure it's nice.
Thanks.
Yes, so they are... No one has, like, a great file on Mr. Beast, aside from clearly Rick Devens and Rizzo. Rizzo has to be, because that's his bag. I mean... That Rizzo does what he does because Mr. Beast did what he did for the last 10 or 15 years.
Yeah, Mr. Beast, he barely says a word. I meant to go back and count how many words he actually said throughout the entire episode. But in this moment, and then also when he's at Tribal later tonight, which I thought, I was like, oh, he's going to show up at Tribal. It's going to be this whole fucking thing. Which, like, he barely said words there either. And I was like, okay, this is great.
In fact, Jeff tells him to take a seat.
Yeah. And I think, too, that we got more screen time of Christian's poopy ass than we did of Mr. Beast the entire time, and that's crazy.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
For everyone who wasn't sure. So the immunity challenge is a balance challenge. You hold a rack that looks...
It's a classic one.
Looks kind of like a bow, right? Mm-hmm. You're holding up a rack that balances a ball on, like, the ridged top horizontally, right? And you're also balancing on a narrow beam, and you move down in timed increments to a more narrow beam, and there's, I think, 3 surfaces total. This is, it's a classic. We're not complaining. There's no reason to attack. Guess what? We're not going to play the attack drop this episode because
no. Good episode. We like that episode.
It's a good episode. It's like it's a classic. That's fine. There's enough crazy shit going on. Maybe we'll still get something. I just really want, like, a new, interesting, cool challenge by the end of the season. We'll see. I'm gonna take what we're given, which is still great television. The drop order is important for a number of reasons.
It was beautiful. It was just the start of, the best downfall this season so far.
Steph drops first. And she dropped,
shit, bitch. So funny.
She lost pretty early in the last episodes as well. So we've made note that Steph, who's like a pretty physical player, and also good in endurance challenges, she's been kind of lacking, and that calls back to when she took that journey and she had to hold up.
That one was pretty hard.
Like she very well might have really fucked up her shoulder and like just didn't say anything, right? But she's paying the price with the rest of these immunity challenges.
Nonetheless, love to see her out first.
Followed by, again, Rizzo.
What did we say?
We said this last episode.
Time.
I go back, check the audio, man. Rizzo sucks shit at comps in the back half of the season, just like he did last season.
Loses some gas.
Seems like he's really and again, like, we're not shitting on him. It's like, dude, you clearly are struggling. Like, he doesn't look well, and it wasn't a surprise that he dropped following. Then Cirie, then Aubrey. As we move down into like the next tier, Rick Devens does drop, and this is where Jeff calls Rick Survivor's favorite newscaster, and we cut to Rizzo on the bench saying, take that, Savannah Louie, which is crazy. They did him so dirty, by the way. He's just probably doing a little bit of shtick. Also, they haven't... Did
Savannah so dirty?
So dirty. Because,
to be completely
like,
honest,
if you go on social media, it appears that Savannah and Rizzo are pals, and like they hang out a lot with their partners and with Sophie Bellardi and all that. But that all happened after this season was filmed. And so I think we might be getting a little bit of like bitter Rizzo that he didn't win that season. He went down to Savannah. Now she beat him in fire. He went out in like an incredibly noble fashion, but they did him so dirty by throwing that one-liner in there, because people are muttering under their breath all the time. So Devens goes down next, then Emily, then Jonathan. And then it's a bit of a showdown for a while between Joe, Ozzy, and Tiffany. Joe drops, and then it's between Ozzy and Tiff. Ozzy he has really been at the tail end of every challenge.
He wants to tie Boston Rob
a reminder,
so bad. I want it for him too.
He has a career record of 8 individual immunity wins. Boston Rob has the record at 9.
And the thing is, he's probably looking at it like,
he's got 3 more shots.
I'm so close to not only tying it, but like he was very close to beating it multiple times.
Yeah.
Very easily, he could have won a handful of times. But our girl Tiff pulled it out. Second time in a row. I love to see it. I
shout out.
Love to see it.
Dude,
she's a beast.
She's awesome. And it's so sick that she has been in, she's doing what, and I'll give Savannah credit here. Like, Savannah was in this position too last season, and that's how Savannah got to the end and won. Is that she was on Tiffany. The bottom? I like Tiffany a lot more too. But we have to talk about how you win the game. And Savannah was socially on the bottom for most of her season, especially at the merge. However, she kept winning immunity, which that's what got her to the end, to where people had no choice but to work with her.
Sure.
And we're seeing Tiffany do something really similar here, because as the blood moon happened, she got fucked. Camilla got sent home, and then she got fucked again at the merge. And she has been on an island, and she's been getting in closer with Cirie and Rizzo, and I guess to a lesser extent Ozzy. But her pulling out these immunity wins is, I think, what's going to keep her locked in to the end. And I hope it keeps happening, because that is a great narrative to follow.
Yeah, it does 2 things for her. It, one, protects her for that night, obviously. And when all of her allies are going home and being blindsided, you very easily could be an easy target in the next one up, right? They're going to look for someone else. Oh, Tiff's easy. She's not connected to anyone, right? We got all our allies out. We'll get her out too. That would be easy. She's safe from that. And then 2, it bides her an extra day and a little more time. And someone said it earlier in the episode as well, that, if you have the necklace on, you have more agency than a lot of other people. And people are a little more eager to hear what you have to say, right? So it gives her an opportunity to continue to build relationships, to continue to foster those connections and get in good with them, right? Get people, I'm not a threat. You don't want to vote me out. Look, we can work together. Look at us voting together.
Second, technically individual immunity. I guess her and Joe won together, but they each had their own necklace.
Yeah.
So
and Jeff gives her like the congratulatory like knuckle bump to the shoulder, and I'm like, oh, that's like the equivalent of your dad telling you, taking his hand, putting it on your shoulder,
proud of you, son.
looking you in the eye and saying, proud of you, son. Exactly.
That's so awesome. Yeah, it's so great to see her pull out these wins and beat out like incredibly physical players, right? Because that was another thing about last season, is that Savannah was the most like physically able person for most of her season, especially after the merge. But there are a bunch of heavy hitters here. Everyone's stacked, and
kind of depends on the challenge and what your strength is. It might be the key to winning that challenge. And
her and Joe's win together was a race. And there were puzzles involved and all of that. So it's awesome to see her crush. She gets really emotional because she went home on day 19. This was on day 19. So this means that she made it. She outlasted her previous season. And then we make our way back to camp to duke it out and read letters from home. Couple highlights from these, letters from home moments. It's always fun. Like you see people get emotional. You think about, oh man, what would I do if I was in their shoes? And Sari talking about her dad, who has to be an elderly man, I would guess at this point. She said she's like 54.
No, he was in his 70s.
She got a letter from her dad. Her dad's never written her a letter ever. And we see Sari get emotional.
Has your dad written you a letter?
Probably. Oh, my dad's
like
pretty,
a letter though.
That's a pretty sentimental.
Yeah,
guy.
but like sign a card. I'm just saying, like, I don't think I've ever received like a letter.
I mean, I think he's written like something lengthy in a card, maybe, or something like that. I don't know.
But I feel like that would be.
He sent me some very nice emails before. That's not a bit. I've gotten some nice emails from him before.
Okay. Yeah. No, I wasn't trying to like call you out or anything. I was just saying, like, I feel like a lot of people's dads aren't writing them letters, right?
Honestly,
is this me exposing myself? I don't know. Like,
I mean, if anything, if we got letters, it'd probably be when he was like deployed.
Well, yeah, I guess that's
I honestly
scenario.
Might be in the outlier. Yeah.
So
and it's also not just like the act of writing the letter, but she said like kind of expressing, emotion the way that he did.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to say my dad loves me and is very proud of me, and he tells me all the time. But I don't think I've ever received like a lengthy letter. So I was just saying, like, I would also be emotional, I guess.
This podcast is a lot of things, but it is not about emotional problems with our dads. Shout out. So Rick Devens, speaking of dads, Rick Devens is a loving father, and his wife is pointing that out in his letter, and she's talking about how he is like this light, and how he loves to be out there, and how it's awesome because like she is telling him what we are already seeing as a viewer. Is like, that is who he is. He just loves to be out there and play and have fun. And she's like, look around, take it in. We get Rick walking down to the water by himself. And I think that's when you turned to me and you said, no one's having more fun than Rick Devens is.
Oh yeah, he's having a blast out there.
Which is it's so great to see, especially with the position that he's in. But I will say, in that moment, I was like, uh-oh, we might be looking at a Rick Devens going home tonight, because
I was thinking that too in that moment. I was like, this episode's pretty good so far. It's a Survivor auction. Don't do me dirty right now, production.
But the letter from home that gets the hammer for this segment is Aubrey. And she's talking about how she has softened because she's a mother now, and how that's changed her perspective, changed the way that she's played.
She's doing a lot of reflection.
Yes. And that's what we need. That's what this show should be with this season. I want to hear more about like the individual's journey. And I know that we'll probably get that in the final with whoever's in the final 3, but damn, dude, like that's what I really want. Is I really want to get to know these people on like the deepest level, because just if one person an episode would be enough for me.
Yeah.
Or 2 or 3.
And if I could stand up right now with all this shit around me, I would, and I would give Aubrey an absolute standing ovation for the fact that she is giving Michelle her flowers. Michelle from, oh my gosh, blanking on the season, wrong, whatever number that was, the one where Aubrey came in, was a runner-up to Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle won that season. Her win was very, there was a lot of nuances and subtleties. And like, I think kind of like, I think if Michelle played, if the same season aired today, we would champion Michelle.
Why? So you've talked about this because I haven't seen Michelle's season of Survivor, but I've seen her on the challenge.
Oh, we love her on the challenge.
She rocks on the challenge.
Hell yeah.
And you've said before that she's like a controversial winner. And like, why is that?
Not in my eyes. I've always loved Michelle.
But like in the public eyes.
In the public, people think she's controversial winner because she it was a lot of like social game. She wasn't like winning a ton of challenges. She also wasn't like making a ton of like big moves necessarily. She was moving very deliberately, strategically, little position movements to angle herself in the best light possible constantly. Okay. These little shifts, these little movements, she won from it. And again, it doesn't matter what fucking the thousands of fans think when you watch Survivor. It matters what the 9 people or however many people are on the jury think of who deserves to win that season. I stand by. I love Aubrey. I think she's a great player. I think she could have, she was also deserving of a win that season for sure. But Michelle without a doubt deserved to win. And she kind of has had, I don't think any more so now, especially since she's been an absolute badass on the challenge for several seasons now. She's kind of carried with her this like, I'm not good enough complex, you know, and like wanting to like prove herself and like show people like she did deserve to win. No, you did deserve to win. You're a killer. And she went on to prove that continually on the challenge. So I just loved seeing someone from her immediate world in that win. Aubrey could have like sat there and, you know, Aubrey did say she thought she should have won, which I think both things can be true, but she gives Michelle her flowers and says that, you know, she is stealing actually pieces of Michelle's game to use in her own game. And I was like, I hope Michelle's watching this and just like smiling ear to ear and like, I hope she feels like she's made it.
Not just rewarding for Michelle, but also proof that Aubrey is the best type of player to bring back. Because the way that she ends things is she says, fuck, I lost the quote. Here we go. She says, no one is on season 50 to make the same mistake they did last time. Although a couple people did, but they're gone. And to her defense, they are gone, right? Coach was out because Coach was being Coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is true.
And so it's just awesome to hear her say that. And she's like, yes, I am playing a different game. And she's not just full of shit. She's actually citing her work. She says, I'm going to steal some pages out of Michelle's book. I love hearing that. Yeah. I love people giving, so much of it is people tearing other players down, talking shit because they're bitter or whatever. And it's awesome to see her go, this person played this way, and I want to channel that. Not just a person, her direct opponent.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been an Aubrey fan. I was sad that her and Genevieve were tiffing because I liked both of them. You know, I feel like everyone's kind of forgotten about Aubrey the last few episodes since the Blood Moon and Genevieve leaving, since that was a kind of like a huge thread, but we didn't really know what to do and where Aubrey's gonna go in the meantime. But I just feel like I got like a shot of like Aubrey adrenaline in my veins. Yeah. After this,
the rest of this pre-tribal segment at camp is an absolute disaster. And there's we literally could not recap all of the different plans and ideas, but I'm going to go with like the first 3 before it goes absolutely haywire. First off, Jonathan wants to do Ozzy now. He goes to Steph and Aubrey and says Ozzy was pitching Steph's name, which he's making up.
He lies. And this, I think, very interesting from Jonathan, because he was aligning himself with Mr. and Mrs. of honor and integrity, right? He was with the coach and the Chrissy and the Joe, right? Like in the Colby. We were all kind of machoing it out with the cut from the same cloth bullshit.
Yeah.
Zoom alliance or whatever.
We did see him go back on that though. But the
Yes.
thing is, he's telling the camera, he's not telling anyone else
Yes.
that. He went back on that, and he told us that he was going back on that when he voted out Camilla during the blood moon.
Which again, I really wish he wasn't or had some like problematic things with him on a like
I think he's
personal
good.
level.
I think he's good at Survivor.
I know, but it's the similar ick that I get with Stephanie, you know, a little bit with that. So that it's a bummer because I think he is, again, I talked about earlier on in this episode saying that Ozzy is being dynamic and harnessing some of the new era mentality and using that to fuel his game. I think Jonathan's also doing that. I think he's also a lot more dynamic than we saw him the first time.
Yeah.
And I think this is proving it, this lie to Stephanie, because again, Stephanie is his ally in this moment and has been for a while. And he's like, how do I push my agenda? How do I get my ally to turn on their other ally to serve my game, right? And in this moment, I'm like, bro, you better hope like you don't get to the end and this doesn't come out, because all of honor and integrity will be on this jury. And yeah, you were friends with them, but like, are they going to respect that?
Well, that's the thing is, and I have
look who's in your jury. Are they going to respect it?
After this, the way this episode ends, I think Jonathan's fucked.
Oh, so fucked.
However, I think it would be kind of awesome if he did, if in a different game, he did make it to the end and he got up there and said, I lied to Honor and Integrity Corporation Unlimited Inc. because I wanted to be protected by them, when in reality, I am a fucking shark and I do fuck people over and lie to them. Like, that would be a cool...
I don't think Honor and Integrity Corporation would like that.
No, I know, but that's the thing is like
that's
like
how you get
and,
all the other people scrape together the other votes.
Basically,
okay.
yes. Like,
Yeah.
but also depends on who you get out
That's
through your
true.
deception as well. I just think that would make for an interesting pitch if he were to get to the final. I think that whatever he has to say would be interesting because he has flipped around and he has been dynamic. However, I don't think that's going to be the case because of the way this episode goes. So moving on to the.
I have it all written down here. I can speed run it if you want, or if you have notes.
I just have a couple of bullet points because it gets so messy. It basically just turns into everyone's fucking going after everyone and people are flipping every time. I mean, and they cut this in a way to make it as chaotic as possible because that's how the tribal is so dramatic by the end of it.
Jeff like tries to attribute it to the Mr. Beast, like, you know, looming twist mystery thing. Never, not once in all of this stuff that I'm about to say, did we ever hear, well, we don't know what we should do because of the twist tonight.
Sure.
Never. And I was listening for that because I wanted them to be like worried about it. We really didn't see them worried about it until it was presented again to them. I think they forgot about it.
It got mentioned in like one, I think it might have been Emily. She's like the Mr. Beast thing and that's it in like a confessional. But what that is, that's Jeff, you know, heightening. He's hosting his show. He's producing his show.
Yes.
It's like, all right, I need to explain to you. How do you explain that Mr. Beast being here is important? By telling you that it's got everyone scared.
Look at all that. Yeah. So what we have happen is after Jonathan has that conversation and tries to talk with Stephanie and getting her in on the Ozzy vote by saying that Ozzy's coming after Stephanie, which is not true. Ozzy cues in Rick Devens and tells him, you're going to be used as a smokescreen, buddy. Everyone wants you out. We're not going to get you out. We're actually going to get Ozzy out. Emily is around for that. Emily is pissed. She says that they're unhinged and shouldn't be allowed to play in the same game. Her and Devens, they're like kind of like joking and laughing.
They're kind of giddy about it.
Yeah, and certainly not together. So they're like we're absolutely not in on this plan. She doesn't want to write Ozzy's name down twice in a row. She's like, I just tried that. Y'all didn't like it. What the fuck? Now we're into it. I don't think so. And this is a classic thing we see kind of in Survivor and some other competition reality TV shows too, where like someone has a plan, it doesn't come to fruition, and then the next day someone else wants it to come to fruition and own that idea, and the other person's like, well, fuck me, right? And then we get Joe telling Suri what's happening. No. You trying to get Ozzy out? Absolutely the fuck not. That's Suri's number one. And then Stephanie goes and lies to Suri's face. saying that it's going to be a split between Devens and Emily. Mind you, Cerie's like, I know that's false because I just got told the truth from Joe. So Stephanie's coming over here blindly lying to Cirie, and Stephanie's being probably sitting there thinking like, I'm doing such a good job. And
you think that you think she thought she was really playing, or she was super squirrely? I got it that she was super squirrely.
I got that she was pulling one over on Cirie. And she was like,
she overstepped.
I convinced Cirie that it's going to be a split between Devens and Emily.
Mind you,
Cirie's been told like 4 times now that it's Ozzy. And then we have Ozzy going to Jonathan and saying, we're going to do Stephanie now because I heard Stephanie's coming for me. Jonathan's probably like, because that was actually my idea and I lied. And now Stephanie's getting caught up in this. Right. Fuck. And so Jonathan goes to Stephanie, tells her, hey, people caught wind and now they want it on you, Stephanie. And tells her that she should probably use her steal a vote. And then that's when Stephanie goes, whoa. Confronts Cirie again and is basically like, what's going on? I don't know what's happening. What? Ozzy? No way. And then she tries to change it to Cirie when she's talking to Devens.
This is where it's like it's become the most all over the place, where we're just doing supercuts of people's faces whispering at this point.
And then Devens is like, well, what about Rizzo instead? He throws Rizzo, Rizogod. I can't spell. Riz God, baby.
The Riz God.
Fucking horrible.
Yeah, why don't you catch your breath for a second? Are we done? Is that it?
No, and then says Stephanie says she'll use the steal a vote.
Right. She finally reminds us that she has a steal a vote. We were trying to figure that out last episode, what advantage Stephanie had.
Right.
And she says, I'm going to use my steal a vote tonight.
Because she wants to steal Ozzy's vote to prompt him to use his idol. To either he doesn't use his idol, Ozzy goes home, or we flush it.
And it's important to note she is telling this to Rick Devens.
To Devens. But then they're like, oh, yeah, we can do all this to then get Rizzo out. Okay, so then maybe Rizzo's kind of like one of the last plans before we're going to tribal here. And then Jonathan, is talking, I think, to Rick Devens, and he keeps saying Tiffany instead of Stephanie.
Yes. That's how flustered everyone is. We're saying the wrong names.
And the different Ani.
I was pulling a Porsche from Trader Season 4.
Yeah, for sure. And then basically it ends, all of this chaos and who's doing what. And we're watching this and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I was like, all of this can be null and void by whatever crazy scenario is happening tonight at Tribal. But then Joe's basically, we don't want to get together and get a general consensus, guys.
At that point, I was fuck you. Everyone just starts throwing shit at him. That's what I would do.
I'm like, are you serious, Joe? What?
Well, actually, everybody, we're supposed to be on the same page when we go to tribal.
General consensus here. I'm like, Joe, you are a new school player. Why are you playing an old school game right now?
It's so funny.
What is that? General consensus who?
By the way, Joe, shut up. No one's saying your name.
Yeah.
And he is such an easy target.
Yeah.
It's so inconsequential to the game, which is why he might actually make it pretty far.
Yeah.
Because no one cares about him right now. So it's like, Joe, shut the fuck up. Just tell whoever comes to you, just tell them yes.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
So we make our way to what I think is the craziest tribal I've ever seen. Historic tribal.
You have seen far fewer seasons of Survivor than I have.
Thanks for reminding everyone.
Yes. But all of that to say, I will concur with you. I have seen every single Survivor tribal.
Thank you for whisking away my credibility as a host and then giving it right back.
Well, yeah,
I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
I'm uplifting your credibility with my credibility. You're welcome.
You're tearing me down and then building me back up like every healthy marriage.
Yeah. Hey. I love you. Don't forget that.
No, it's fine. There's plenty of hosts that have done the same thing.
And I'll say too, as we're sitting down and watching Survivor, you and I, especially in, we do the podcast, we take notes while we watch because we want to make sure we get the highlights, hit on the points. We have some funny bits that we like to like weave in and remind ourselves of when we're watching it. We're saying stuff to each other while we're watching, and then, oh, that was a good thing. Maybe we'll write that down and mention that on the show. When this tribal starts, I put my phone down.
Yeah, this was not a note-taking tribal.
My jaw was slack, and I was like just absorbing what was happening.
We weren't thinking about the podcast. We were watching TV.
Oh, yeah.
This was, we're watching television here.
Front row fan for sure. Fantastic.
There's obviously just a little bit of what we always get to start. Mr. Beast is not there yet, by the way.
Which I'm
just
like,
Jeff.
Okay.
And again, interesting. So maybe it was by design from the beginning that he wasn't supposed to be there. I don't know. Who knows? But we have Jeff there, and he's asking the questions, and then Devens is going to Aubrey. He says, I'm going to blow the whole thing up. And Aubrey says, me too. And I'm going, that's fun. And Devens he says, I'm going to tell a story that's going to end with like a proposition, basically. Or a
and some of you might not like it, kind of thing. And again, I'm just, this man's having a fun ass time out there.
He's playing for all of us because he's like, hey, this is for you guys who are putting 2 hours a week into this show.
Yeah.
This is for you guys. And he does blow the whole thing up. He outs Jonathan and Stephanie and all the different plans that are going around. But most importantly, that Stephanie came to him about voting Ozzy, and that she has a steal a vote that she's going to use tonight. That is, I think, the biggest message that Devens is trying. Because what he says, I'm trying to blow the thing up. I'm trying to create chaos. He's also trying to get a Stephanie vote out tonight.
And he's also trying to save his ass that could very easily be on the line.
Yeah.
And really, what he's doing here, I've really never seen such strategic, 100% full throttle honesty.
Yeah.
Like, everything he said was true. Granted, I would say he was still truthful in saying that it was Stephanie's idea because he didn't really know. It was kind of presented to him from Stephanie and Jonathan together. So he's like, it was Stephanie's idea, right? Just a beautiful picture he painted for everyone.
He comes clean about talking about Rizzo with Stephanie.
Yeah.
Because that's what's amazing is that Stephanie was a part of so many of these different names. She threw so many names around that all Rick had to do was say, Rizzo, she said your name. Sari, she said your name.
Right.
Emily, because then that turns each person on her individually.
But it added credibility to his entire story.
Yes.
Why would he?
Because he's also saying that he was complicit in all of it.
Right. And he's saying, why would I say that I lied about Rizzo or saying that I was going to vote out Rizzo and then lie about that? No, I'm being truthful. Why wouldn't I lie about Rizzo?
And
then?
you know,
not say anything about
what's
it.
so damning is that the only person that's calling him a liar is Stephanie.
Yep. And Jonathan's also getting mad. So, which I find is funny because he had we've all been sneaking around, whispering, conflating truths, things like that. But I think this is the biggest lie, flat out lie anyone has ever told in this game so far. Jonathan saying to Stephanie that Ozzy was coming for him. That was just manufactured bullshit, right? 100%, which, hey, I respect it. You're trying to get your thing to happen, right? But he's mad when the wholehearted truth is told, but then it's okay for him to lie. Right? That's again where I'm like, so you're never going to get the honor and integrity vote at the end if you're sitting there.
And I think he's moved away from the honor and integrity game since they've been out. I think he's just frustrated that his shit got blown up and that he's no longer on top.
Yeah, but Stephanie takes most of this heat. She's a horrible liar. Horrible. Damn near close to as bad of a liar as Coach was. It was giving me when, oh my gosh, Coach approached Dee and said, Emily's throwing your name out.
Yeah.
And Dee was like...
It's the most obvious lie of all time.
And Dee's like, well, then why didn't you tell me before right now when it would only matter right now? Build trust with me before. And he didn't know what to say and he had egg on his face. That's what it was giving me here. I'm like, oh, these old schoolers aren't crafty with their lies like a Devens, like a whoever. And the funniest part about this is that Aubrey turns around. She goes, legitimately, Stephanie? And Stephanie goes, what? What?
And when
Like-
and Aubrey is like I think she's very pointed whenever she speaks up.
Oh yeah, calculated.
Yeah, and so like that just cut through all of the noise, and
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
kind of just hushed up and looked and turned to them for a
Because
second.
Aubrey's not a bullshitter, right? And Stephanie says, well, I've been defending Ozzy this whole time. And then the whole thing, Devens is saying she's doth protest too much, whatever his quote was, saying that she's basically being way too defensive. But I think truly her damning thing in all of this, one, just shut up, just deny it and then move on, whatever, right? The less time we're on this, the better. But she said, I would never go to anybody and would never throw names out. I would never lead the charge. I'm not that stupid. So what? Now you're calling everyone else stupid?
And then this is when Stephanie gets absolutely fucked up.
She gets scolded.
by the goofiest, fucking squirreliest, lovable 25-year-old that has ever walked across the
It was
screen
beautiful.
on Survivor. Rizzo from half court
He goes,
windmill dunks
No,
on
no, no,
Stephanie.
no,
He
no,
says,
no.
Jeff, if you want to play Survivor, you have to lead the charge. Basically, this is like the second time, right, that Rizzo has shut someone down and been like, no, that's not the game at all, stupid.
Yeah, he called it utter lies. Those were his words,
So
utter
awesome.
lies. And then he tells her to man up.
Dude, it was so great. And this is why guess what? I'll say it again. Been in the Rizzo camp from the beginning. He is showing his colors as an incredible player in this season of Survivor.
He keeps going. He goes, yeah, Rick calling me out was a compliment. I actually like kind of like that. I like the like bold truth, honesty, right? And he says backing out never works, meaning that like what Stephanie's doing, try to backpedal and no, let me recontextualize. No, let me explain. Never gonna work, especially when like we all know you're full of shit, dude.
Look, and we've given him this credit before. Rizzo may not be everyone's flavor, but he is representative of everyone who grew up watching Survivor.
Sure.
Who's watched it from the very beginning, not watching it through an adult brain, but watching it through the lens of a kid, and then taking in that type of gameplay. It's the same thing with wrestling. Anything that spans an entire life length of fanhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he is great for this show. That's why they brought him back for 50. It's why Jeff clearly fucking loves him so much, is that he is representative of that. It's not just, he's the Gen Z, token rep. No, dude. He is the person who has watched the show their entire life and thinks about it all day, every day, because it is their biggest favorite thing.
Oh yeah, and speaking of all day, thinking about it all day, every day, I'm at this point, I'm just like jumping up on the couch. I'm having a blast.
It's before
watching.
Mr. Beast even comes back
I know.
out.
I'm like,
This is before the thing happens.
I'm sitting there, I'm jumping in my seat. I'm, oh my goshing, it may as well be my favorite team on the Super Bowl, just win it. You know what I mean? Like that kind of energy. And I laugh. I'm like, people in my personal life better watch out when Survivor is fucking good, with any reality TV competition is fucking good.
Is this a warning?
Yeah, it's a warning.
So
because
there are people who listen to our friends listen to the show.
It might be because I'm sitting here and I'm being like, this is such good strategy. This is such good manipulation. This is how I had my whole Emily Devens fake idol decoy plot earlier, and I also have another one in a second here that we'll tee up with the what the twist could be. I'm sitting here thinking about it on all these different levels. The math is going over my eyes, and then it infiltrates me, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm being like kind of manipulative right now. I'm playing some strategy. I'm throwing some things out there, and bit it up, reeling it in.
We talk about this phenomenon on the movie show sometimes, where like if you play Grand Theft Auto for a week straight, like everyone's going to in the month of May, the next time you leave the house, you'll sit at a stoplight.
Yeah,
and
I could take
just for a minute. You're gonna be like, I'm going to jump out of this car. I'm going to go steal that fucking Corvette over there. I'm going to punch that guy in the face and take his car.
Because we're going to drive to the strip club and spend all of our stolen money.
Because like if you spend so much time in that mindset, it does for a second, it bleeds into like your impulse brain.
You're proving to all of the like pearl clutching moms out there that video games are, Call of Duty are bad for their children to play because it's making them more violent.
No.
Right? That's kind of what you're playing into.
No. I'm just saying that when
I know you're kind of smirking over there.
When you are in one mindset for the entire time that you're consuming something, it just pops into your head sometimes.
Right.
You're just like, do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, except I do it more like socially and. It's not harmful. No harm, but
it's just the way that you're processing information.
Right.
I'm really trying to save you
Thank
here
you for saving
from
me.
telling everyone that you're manipulating.
No, I'm not manipulating them.
So it's just how you process social information because that you're a part of this world so much.
Let's go with him.
We're doing podcasts. It's why I can't help but do shtick all the time because I'm doing a podcast everywhere I go. It's just fucking who I am.
Exactly.
I have that brand of autism.
Yeah, so. I'm like, Matt told me like what he's gonna make for dinner, but like maybe if I say this, then I can get. And I'm like, wait, no, just say you want something else for dinner, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Anyway,
I think touch grass is what they say to people who struggle with that. Let's get to Mr. Beast.
I went back and I pulled time codes.
Okay.
Because Jeff teed up this twist at Tribal Council. He kind of like interrupted everything.
It's a long episode, by the way. Yeah. I don't think we mentioned that. It's a 2-hour episode.
2-hour episode. And like, I checked the timestamp and I was like, oh my God, we're going to have like an hour-long Tribal. What's going to happen, But I went back and I checked because in the moment, I was like, oh my God, Jeff, stop jerking me around. What is, like, just tell us what it is. He teed it up for over 100 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
By the time that he interrupted Tribal and the time Mr. Beast strutted out there, it was over 100 seconds.
Well, because don't forget, I mean, look, we've spent so much time. That's one thing is like, Jeff isn't really asking questions because everyone is yelling at each other. So Jeff's got to rein it back in.
He's like, hey.
Remind you,
I didn't have my question asking time.
Yeah.
So it's going to be me teeing up this whole bit.
It's Mr. Beast monologue
shut
time.
up and let me do it. Yeah.
And he finally brings him in, Mr. Beast, dressed like a stagehand in a black box production. Well, supposed to be camouflaging against the night sky, apparently.
Well, I even said that too. He looked like a floating head in some of the shots because it was so dark behind him.
And I was like, "Hey, Jimmy, let's put a white windbreaker on you or something."
Something, yeah. I mean, that would have been funny. But okay, what I thought it was gonna be, right? Because Mr. Beast has all his challenges. I thought we were going to get a comp out instead of a vote out.
Because at this point, we have like 25 minutes of show left.
Right. I'm thinking that he's about to announce, everyone, we're about to go do an endurance comp. Last one to, or first one to fall,
sure.
or last one to do whatever is going to go home. To me, personally, I thought that it was going to be everyone's going to fire.
Whoa.
Could you imagine?
A 10-way fire
challenge? A 10-way fire. Last person to get fire and break the little string and put the little flag up is going home.
Instead of the first person. Oh, cool.
Could you imagine?
That would be amazing.
Let me write the show.
Yeah, give us jobs.
Huh?
We haven't played the drop once this episode.
I know, let me write it.
I don't think we played the last episode either. We're being so nice.
I know.
Hire us, please. So, Mr. Beast does, he comes out, he's camouflaged. He opens the briefcase finally, and he reveals a gold coin that has a head side and a tail side. The Mr. Beast logo represents heads, and the torches, the survivor torches on the back, represents tails. One person is going to flip this coin in front of the whole tribe, in front of the jury. Christian wearing shorts and a tucked-in shirt, by the way. Not quite as eloquent as some of our other players, but
not as va-va-boom as D.
The most Christian, I think, that you can get, and I really appreciated seeing that. I'm glad that he's who he is.
Yeah.
And if they call this coin correctly, meaning heads or tails, they are not only safe from the vote tonight, they get an immunity idol. And then the vote is still on, meaning that this person's safe, Tiffany's safe. It's a 1 in 8 chance that someone's going home. Then, on top of all of that, on top of all of those gameplay,
you get to benefit yourself now and later. And
Mr. Beast will donate an additional $1 million to the prize pot for the winner of Survivor 50. Meaning,
who?
the winner of Survivor 50 will go home with $2 million, which I don't think I've ever seen that amount in a show like this ever.
I think this has to be...
Fucking handsome Robbie Bobby won like $200,000 on Traders.
I don't think this prize money has ever been higher for any competition reality TV of this magnitude. I mean, just absolutely mind-blowing. Like, if you thought $1 million was a lot, make it 2.
Also,
right?
Like, I'm sorry,
Like,
that's why Mr. Beast freaks me out. Like, no one should be able to just spend money like that.
well, the thing, too, is that, after taxes or whatever, your $1 million win is only going to be however many dollars, whatever. But, like, someone is going to be a cleared millionaire after this win. They will have $1 million in their bank over, and I don't know how much taxes are, but probably over that. And I've seen some discourse online about this twist before we get into what happened. People are like, this ruins the game of Survivor. It challenges the integrity. No one's game should be left up to a coin flip. If Devens didn't flip it correctly, you would be mad. And to those people, I say, shut the fuck up. This was a great episode. Let me have my fun.
See, I don't think that argument works at all. I think that is a surface level, dummy, stupid, magic marker take. And here's why. The consequence of flipping incorrectly or calling incorrectly means that the prize money stays at $1 million and this person goes home. They're not voted out. They go out. Yeah, there's no vote. Here's why it's beautiful, because they have to decide who flips amongst themselves. Anyone besides Tiff is at risk of going home. Jeff says if they can't figure it out, we're drawing rocks besides Tiff because she has individual immunity tonight. Devens wants to flip. And here's why I don't think the integrity of the game matters. Here's why this is the most dramatic, beautiful moment that I could think of in terms of Survivor and what the game is. Rick Devens is at the bottom. He's not only at the bottom, he has pissed off everyone with his fake idol. He has nothing in his hands. So what Rick Devens gets to do is he gets to, for one last time, take his fate into his own hands. And I would rather go home by losing a coin toss that I had the balls to decide that I wanted to do versus be pushed out. It's like the one instance, because this whole season we've lamented about how people are going out at the hands of really a twist. Like a twist that just kind of they shoved them to the bottom. There wasn't a lot of strategizing. There wasn't a lot of, social play that won or lost them, gave them gains or losses.
Yeah.
This is the complete opposite of that. This is someone deciding that I'm going to risk it because if I go home, it's because of me. It's not because of the game. It's not because of Mr. Beast. And it's not because of the coin toss. If Rick lost, he would be going home because of Rick. And I think that is a great way to live with yourself leaving Survivor 50.
He maybe was going to be going home also because of Rick.
Yes. And that's why they didn't want him. But that's why I think it's amazing whoever steps up for this one coin toss is because, yeah, dude, you are admitting that you're giving yourself a 1 in 2 shot of winning or losing and 1 in 2 shot of going home, dude.
Well, even Jeff was saying, I don't think me and Jimmy thought that this is the way it was going to go, which I think is the most, beautiful thing. Because what could have happened is it just spurred, everyone fighting, being like, I don't want to, no, I don't want to go to rocks.
If they drew Emily's rock and then she flipped and like lost and had like, that would be such a bummer. It'd be so disinteresting.
I think that's what the people are arguing, is that like it should never be up to a coin flip or like a rock draw paired with the coin flip, because what happens if Rizzo did it and then out of nowhere he's just like gone over a coin flip, and because his rock got drawn and he didn't want to do it, so like I think the success relied on the perfect storm and climate that was conjured up from the previous tribal, right? My I guess one small critique I would add though is like, I don't think we need the $2 million fuel to the fire at this stage in the game. Just give it to him in the beginning. It should have been at jury. Right? Oh, congrats, you made jury.
Well,
also, it's at $2 million.
Well, I'm so glad you brought up the jury, because we cut to the jury after they made that announcement of the extra $1 million. Not a smile in that bunch. They realize, they've missed out. Yeah. They've missed out on $2 million. They lost.
Cool.
They lost double.
Great.
They were fucking pissed. And I mean, the thing is, someone is going to volunteer for this coin flip, and it's whoever is going to be at the bottom, because Aubrey was considering it as well. Aubrey was at risk. So if
I don't think she was really considering it.
I mean, but like whoever it was, sure, this episode has been, the last 2 episodes have been this storm around Devens and the storm he's created for himself, but it is for whoever's on the bottom to take their own fate into their hands. And I think that's incredible. And I think that's why it works. And I don't see a reason to complain about what could have been shitty about it, because it didn't happen. When in fact, this is the inverse of all these other stupid twists from this season. The Blood Moon. This is what the Blood Moon should have been. It should have been cool and interesting.
Yeah.
And instead, everyone just kind of went out with like a fucking wet fart. Ew. And so this is the opposite of that. It's like the twist actually worked. It brought drama and suspense, and Rick Devens gets up there. They don't want him to, but eventually it's like, all right, well, like if you don't want me to, Jonathan, do you want to risk getting your rock pulled, and then now you have a 1 in 2 shot of going home instead of a 1 in 8 shot?
Right. And it actually kind of seemed like Aubrey was against Devens maybe doing it. And so I think Jonathan was saying like, Aubrey, well then like you go up there, and then she was like, oh, fuck, I don't want to do that. I'm not fucking, she's psycho, but she's not that psycho.
So sorry.
No, Jeff was like asking her like, oh, well, like walk me through it, Aubrey. And she's just like, no, he can go. Like she like was like, I don't want to, I don't want to consider this anymore. Just go do it.
We're so close to finishing, and I think Alex will be here in like 20 minutes. But before we get to Devens' dramatic flipping of the coin, I want to ask, what logic do you follow when you have to flip a coin?
Tails never fails, baby.
You go tails never fails?
Tails never fails.
I was that way for so long, and then I feel like I went on a year of tails failing me time and time again. And now I think I just go on vibes. And I don't like sticking to one side. I think that if I'm flipping,
so you don't like head?
Dude, I'm thinking, well, I mean, it depends. I guess it depends on the head.
Right.
And I think if I'm flipping a coin, then I'm already putting it up to chance. So it's like, fuck it. I don't know. Heads, tails, like just, I really try to try to flip it around as much as possible.
And I do like Devens' logic.
And that's like, what's so, dude.
I liked his tee up to
it. It's fucking beautiful television. Like,
because
seriously, just
anything else,
snaps, all of that.
Everybody like, oh, I want the Survivor one. We're on Survivor, right? Yeah, Survivor.
Right? Because I'm sucking up to Jeff Probst.
Yeah.
He goes, well, I watch Mr. Beast all the time with my kids. My kids would choose the Mr. Beast side of the coin, so that's what I'm going to go with. And there we go. We see it. It fucking rolls on the floor. Everyone's jumping out of their seat to see how it lands, and it hits. It hits, baby. Heads, Mr. Beast logo.
It happened in the moment, and it's happening now. I'm not kidding you. Yeah. Like cold chills.
Dude, just I texted so many people. I said, do not get on Instagram. Do not let this get spoiled for you if you haven't watched it yet. Rick Devens is safe from going home tonight. He is gifted an actual immunity idol after all of that.
All of that bullshit. And everyone knows it's real, too.
And we are back to the vote. Meaning it's a 1 in 8 chance instead of a 1 in 9 chance.
Yeah. I would like to take a moment, too, just to say, like, I was, like, riding, like, such a high at this point. I was like, this is amazing. This is beautiful. Riz God would say it's cinema. I think he even did say it was cinema. And like, it was just so fun to watch. And as the episode was ending, I kind of like paused for a second and I was like, you know what? Like, I felt a little emotional and I feel like I'm getting a little emotional now. And like, we like to talk shit on this show and like have a good time. But like, as a kid growing up, like we said, I don't have daddy issues. We already made that apparent, right?
Neither of us.
Yeah, neither of us. You know, I had a normal childhood. Therapist would love to, you know, dive into that statement. I'm sure, whatever. The point I'm making though is that I looked forward to Survivor every single night growing up. It was just the thing that, you know, Wednesday or Thursday night, which one it was, it would air and then it would end and I'd be happy that I watched it and then I would look forward to it the next week. And I was sitting there like jumping on the couch, just so excited, just couldn't take my eyes off the TV. And I was like, oh my God, like, I don't think that there is another childlike experience that I experience now as an adult that gives me so much joy and nostalgia. Like, you know, you can, you know, smell or taste an apple pie and be like, oh man, my mom used to make the best apple pie. And like, you know, that like, it just brings all these good memories back to you, whatever. But like, that's Survivor for me. Like, it just like, I looked at you after, I'm like, I'm going to be a little lame right now. Like, I think I might cry. And you're like, you can cry. That's okay.
Allowed.
It's allowed. But I'm just like, oh my God. Like, it really kind of hit me where like,
yeah,
I don't think there's anything else in my adult experience that like I have experienced for most of my life, which was watching Survivor and like having that same like just pure like childlike joy watching.
I'm going to ring the bell again because first of all, I was so happy for you watching you experience that because it's hard to be that excited about anything the older that we get.
I got to suspend reality for like 2 hours.
Life is hard and you have to choose to endure it. Life is short and painful, and the things that bring us joy become less and less accessible as you get older. But to have a moment to call back to that type of excitement, that type of appreciation, it goes beyond nostalgia. And I think what it means is that it is wholly unique.
Yeah.
And it's not just the quality of this product at this time. It harkens back to the excitement that I felt as a kid, where it's easier to be excited about something like Survivor because we're not watching it with a notepad. Mm-hmm. We're not watching it and discussing it as 30-year-olds. You're just watching it because it's cool and it's fun. Mm-hmm. And that's what wrestling is like for a lot of people as well. And it's so easy to get bogged down with obviously it's the same way that we watch shows like this where, well, we know that Roman's going to go down because they got to put the belt on Randy, and you know, it just makes sense, and his contract is up, and like that, the inside baseball eventually, it doesn't ruin the show, but you eventually just start watching it like an adult because that's how our brains work. Well,
some of that's still woven in there because I saw the timestamp of where we were before Devens flipped the coin, and I was like, oh, he's safe. Like, what are we doing in this other, like, you know, 15 minutes left of the show where like I can't like remove it entirely. I can't like put my blinders on, but like part of me was like, oh, well, he could like be out, and then they like are teeing up the next, you know, post-tribal thing or whatever. But no, I was like, I was happy to be a Survivor fan.
WrestleMania 40, when Cody Rhodes finally won the championship belt off of Roman Reigns after losing to him for two WrestleManias in a row. You know, the finish the story, him returning to the WWE, all of that, where, you know, we watch pay-per-views and it's like, well, I think this is, what do you think is going to happen, Matt? Well, I think it's probably going to happen because this guy, it's time. This is what I would do if I was in the creative seat. But all of that goes out the window and we're just watching the match. And then fucking Roman Reigns comes out, or The Rock comes out, and John Cena comes to his aid, and the Usos come out, and Seth Rollins, it's like all of this storytelling over a decade of like wrestling history, and it's the music drops, it's everyone popping, it's surprising, and like that is like the little kid moment of you're just like, holy fuck, this is so awesome, this is so exciting, and it's so hard to recapture that. So I know exactly what you're talking about when you talk about how amazing it is to feel that type of excitement and the emotion that comes with it, and it helps you remember, oh yeah, this show is wholly unique and amazing, and the imitator shows, whatever Netflix is putting out, I'm sure will be cool, but it's gonna be hard to draw that type of reaction out of someone, because what other show does that? I don't think Big Brother does it, not to this like level of drama, you know what I mean? And part of that could be budget, the mind of Probst versus a team of producers, whatever it is, but it's like the same feeling where it's like, oh yeah, wrestling can be fucking amazing, because it can draw that type of emotion and energy out of you if it's done the right way. And sometimes something has to really suck before it can get great. Just like that's happened, comes in waves in wrestling, happens, in seasons of Survivor
Zac
as well.
Brown.
And that's why I think that this was such a beautiful way to turn the ship around in such an extravagant fashion. So snaps to everyone involved. And I'm happy that you had this moment.
Thank you.
Legitimately. Let's fucking get out of here. Holy shit.
Let's get back. Live Tribal breaks out immediately after the twist is kind of coming to an end here. And one thing I want to point out that Jeff says, he goes, wow, even Sari is up. And I'm like, what does that mean? What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, that could be pointed.
She got up off of her couch and made it to the island. She's gonna get up to fight for her life in chaos, Mr. Jeff.
Yeah, I think that's you could take that as pointed, but you could also take it as like Sari, she's the mastermind. She sits
even keeled.
You know what I mean? That's how everyone perceives her. She never looks squirrely. She's never whispering. She's never worried. She's always just like hanging out. She's cool. She's cool as a cucumber.
I gave a little side eye to that comment. But we have Stephanie getting up there announcing that she is going to steal Devens' vote, which honestly makes sense. There's chaos going on. She wants to use her advantage. No one wants to go home with an advantage in their pocket. If they're one vote away, she wants to make sure that, she has that. Devens could probably give two shits about his vote at this moment. He's riding such a high. Adrenaline's probably pumping. He's safe tonight. He can be safe tomorrow night. He just made everyone $2 million whoever wins, which, by the way, I'm now rooting for Rick Devens to win. He deserves that $2 million after taking that big of a gamble and chance and it paying off. So yeah, he probably is like, here, Stephanie, I don't give a fuck. You take my vote. And it didn't matter, because after all of this bullshit, after all the he said, she said, what about this person, plan X, Y, and Z? We made it through A, B, and C all the way down to X, Y, and Z at this point. We had a unanimous vote, minus Stephanie and her 2 votes for Aubrey, which Aubrey very clearly pointed out her name was spelled wrong. Also, points off for the smiley face with the nose in it that she had next to it. You don't like the nose? I don't like the nose. Nose creep me out. No, just 2 eyes and a mouth.
No third dot.
No third dot.
Ozzy didn't play his idol, and I was like, oh, wait a sec. Oh, geez. They've got this figured out. And sure enough, by the end, when we see it in the credits, even Jonathan voted Stephanie.
I was shocked.
Because, look, at that point, with the show that Rick just put on and everything that he did and the impressive he showed up. You don't want to be on the wrong side of that vote, Jonathan. You got to cut your losses.
It's already looking bad for you. You gotta go.
So he flipped, and we have 2 votes for Aubrey, both Stephanie, and then 8 votes for, or 7 votes, whatever. Yeah, because Rick's moved over. Yeah. Landslide vote, unanimous decision to vote Stephanie out.
I want to point out, in her exit interview, she specifically said that she took the fall for Jonathan. Fucking why?
Yeah, that's what's so funny.
If your ass is on the line, I get not wanting to throw him under the bus, and then if he's here tomorrow, then now you have egg on your face with him and you have to sleep next to him in the camp. And, if he does go and you do throw him under the bus, then you feel like you're alone, right? But
well, and she,
it's
that's
your
the
game,
last
Stephanie.
thing she says, as she gets up, she goes, just so you know, I did not lead the charge against Ozzy, which is true. Jonathan was the point of inception.
But she was an accomplice and a right-hand man.
Yeah, I mean, she was at the forefront of it, but I think she said that for the jury. And I think that if she asks a question, I think it might pertain to that, depending on how far Jonathan gets.
Which
I think she wanted to burn Jonathan there.
And I think the thing that really annoyed me in her post-exit interviews, she was on shows like Today and yesterday night, I guess, I don't know. She was in an interview and quoted saying, "Honestly, I really thought I was still with Cirie and Ozzy, so I felt betrayed by them." And I'm like, did this bitch not live the experience that we're watching? Because she's in a confessional that night saying, right now we think we have the votes to blindside Ozzy. What the fuck you mean you were betrayed by Ozzy? You're just mad that he got to you when you were trying to get to him alongside, with Jonathan.
That might be her just trying to make nice with as many people as she can.
It seems like she's trying to rewrite history, and I don't fuck with that. I'm like, yeah, you can feel upset by it, but you can't feel betrayed when you were also trying to do the same betrayal on the person who did the betraying on you.
Own your mistakes, man.
No, she can't do that. Time and time again, we see in her personal life with Eliza, right?
Just own your mistakes.
We see it in here with the live tribal that she couldn't own her mistake. And then we see in this post-exit interview, and that just happened today and or within the last 24 hours, she can't own her mistake. So I'm like, girl, you have a lot of learning and growing to do. So fucking get at it.
I don't know why I thought this was going to be like an 80-minute episode with all of the shit that we had to cover. Let's close things
Outwit, outplay, outlast.
with
Let's
the
go.
3 pillars. Outwit, starting with Cirie.
Of course, she whips that vote.
And you pushed hard for this
bitch.
one.
Yeah.
And so but specifically, when is she whipping that vote? During the live tribal.
Yes.
Yeah.
She whipped it all day.
Yes.
Too.
Clearly.
Like, she found out from Devens that it was going to be Ozzy. And she goes, I number one. We are not ready to go home.
Is always passing through Cirie, but it's passing through Cirie. She's the conductor switching the railroad tracks.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's a great way to put it. Absolutely.
And that's why outwit sticks with her, is because she's passing along the information, but at the right time, in the right direction, with the right tone.
To benefit herself and her allies, but not make it be the forefront flashy thing.
It's beautiful to watch.
Love it.
Outplay.
I will say before you go to outplay, if we're watching a Cirie win for Survivor 50,
Look,
I will be equally as happy right now as if Devens wins because of his, crazy gamble chance he took with that coin flip.
I think going into this episode, I thought that I think that we're going to see Cirie and we're going to see Rizzo in the final. I don't know who's third, but I think that we're going to see Rizzo in that final next to Cirie. I think Ozzy has an idol. I don't know, dude. He's only got a couple more chances to play it, and he has been bouncing around all over the place, and he's protected by Cirie. At a certain point, if you're being protected by... I think Rizzo's doing his own thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At a certain point, Cirie may not want to go that far with you, right? So we'll see. Outplay goes to Tiffany. Her second immunity win. Like I said, winning against a bunch of heavy hitters, outlasting people like Ozzy, like Joe, other comp beasts, and making it to day 20. And just being
personal best for her. She PR'd.
Just being a fucking
loving to see that.
Being a fucking pro, and the way that she's playing the social game, cementing in. She's getting close. She's super close with Cirie now. Cirie is saying, all right, you want to do this vote? Well, I've got Tiffany. Like, I'm bringing Tiffany and Rizzo in with me. She's not saying Ozzy most of the time because she's trying to keep that on the DL. But she's clearly gotten in with Cirie. That is outplay. Like I said earlier in the episode, she has found her way to make it through this game. So fuck yeah, Tiffany, outplay. And outlast obviously goes to Survivor's favorite newscaster, Rick fucking Devens, who won his survival on a coin toss. The Survivor gods wanted him to stay in the game. And the fact that he is brave enough to take his fate into his own hands makes him the greatest champion of Outlast, I think, ever. Because Outlast, sometimes it's luck. And we've granted that we said that on the show. Sometimes Outlast goes to someone because of their fucking luck. But this is like ownership of outlasting in a way that I don't think it gets any
ownership of the luck.
Yes,
almost.
I don't think it gets any more Outlast than that, where it's your sole decision. It's not anyone else's vote, anyone else's choice. Fucking beautiful.
Hell yeah, we love Survivor.
Yes, we do. This is a show about how much we love Survivor. This is not this is not a show about complaining. We love CBS. We love everything about CBS.
I kept my complaining to a bare minimum.
We love every decision that CBS has ever made, and that's it. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Hell yeah, baby!
Until we're on schedule, by the way, we're back on schedule. Shout out just for you. So until next time. At Backdoors and Blindsides on Instagram, full video episodes on YouTube. Commenting is good for us. Please comment and share stuff. A bunch of people came up to me last week and they said, how do we help you grow the show? What's good for you? And I said, subscribing to the podcast, turning on automatic downloads, and commenting and sharing shit is really good for us. So anyone who is asking about that, I appreciate it.
Get that on a little index card, print those out, hand those out. Yeah.
Hugs, kisses. Until next time, we came in.
We dug deep.
And we'll always have something for you, because that's how you do it on Backdoors and Blindsides.